you've said that for as long as the privileged classes do not use public transport as their primary means of transport, the system will always stay broke for the poor. It's an interesting argument you've put forward. Give us a sense of why you believe that to be true. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, John. Thank you, and to your listeners as well. Yeah, John, the narrative in South Africa is that public transport is the sort of primary means of transport for poor people, and that public transport is for poor people. And the global narrative is that it's not. Public transport globally is a means of transport for everyone. And the South African narrative needs to be rescued from this very poor perception that it's only poor people that should use public transport. And that's the basis for my comment, that if the middle class and the upper middle class and the wealthy do not use public transport, it will always be seen as a service that is third, fourth, and fifth class, and to be used by those who cannot afford other forms of transport like cars or motorized transport. So that's the basis for it. It's changing the way we view public transport in this country, which is necessary for us to put it on an upper trajectory.
So let's take it through some stages. I mean, some people would say this is circular. Well, I don't use the trains because they are always broken or they feel unsafe or whatever it might be, and I choose to exercise an option I have. And the people who don't have the option would say, well, if I had a car, I definitely wouldn't get on a train either. How do we break that cycle that appears to be self-perpetuating?
Yeah, the argument is known and heard very often by middle class people who say, that it's unsafe or it's unclean or it's not on time and it breaks down too often and therefore they will be late and it can't be relied upon. The issue is that unless we go and stand on those broken stations and sit on those late trains and demand a better service, it won't be fixed. The poor doesn't have enough power to exercise and force government to fix it. It is the middle class and the upper middle class that has the power to do that. They have the money to do so, they have the voice to do so, and they have the platforms through their businesses and through their social networks to push the message that the service must be fixed. So we have an advocacy role that is a partnership with the poor to render a better public service, public transport service. And so that's what the role of the middle class is in this effort. When you go to any other country in the world, especially in the Western and European countries, you go to dinner on a train, you go to the theater by a train, you go to, walking downtown by getting on a train. It's a normal thing to do. In South Africa, it's like always regarded as, no, it's unsafe. It's unsafe, John, because we, the middle class, avoid it. So we should be invading that broken service.
News.
Experts.
Analysis.
Where things stand.
What you need to know. Drive home with John Perlman
On 702.